Jim Rogal.
Present.
J.D. Davis, present. Caitlin Trunnell, absent. Aaron Ripley-Guitaric. Present. Jim Rogal. Pam.
Present.
J.D. Davis. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Any corrections or additions to the agenda as stated? Okay. Well, let's go into approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Would someone like to move to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Pam. Do we have a second? Thank you, Jim. We have a second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye, and we have to do a roll call vote. Sorry.
Like, I mean, if that's how you want to do it.
Yeah,
all right.
Can't do it that way. Got to do it the right way.
Yes, Ray.
Aye.
Terry Lindbergh. Jim Rogal.
Aye.
J.D. Davis. Aye. Approved. Caitlin Trunnell. Absent. Aaron Ripley-Guitaric. Aye. Pam Lewis.
Aye.
All right. And the ayes have it. We'll now move into approval of expenditures, which is also an action item. Would someone like to move to approve the expenditures? And I believe they are located in the notes section there. You need to see them.
I move to approve expenses totaling $37,600.98 from November 12th and December 9th, and 2 November payrolls totaling $149,057.82.
Thank you very much, Pam. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Aaron. And any discussion on any of the items there? Hearing none, we'll go to the vote. JD, if you do the roll call, please.
Brian, is this where we're supposed to be saying approved instead of aye? Where were we supposed to say that? I just tried to look it up.
Yeah, I or approved is fine. It was had to do with the executive session coming in and out. Was that what you're thinking of?
Carrying on. You can like delete that from the thing. Just Ray.
Aye.
Terry Lindbergh. Jim Rogal.
Aye.
J.D. Davis. Aye. Caitlin Trunnell. Aaron Ripley-Guitaric. Aye. Pam Lewis.
Aye.
Okay, that has also gone through. So we'll go now into the President's report, which shall be brief. Thanks to Brian and to the staff at MPL for thanking us at the end of the year. Always appreciated. We thank you for that. And as always, thanks to the staff for all that they are doing during a difficult time, and especially with Kerbit. And I know that a lot of our patrons appreciate what's available and the fact that they're still able to get materials. So kudos to everyone involved in that. Now we'll move into public comment. I don't believe that there is anyone scheduled for public comment. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. We thank the public for giving us some extra time this evening to continue on with the business. And we thank those of you for watching at home for participating with us as we go through our meeting. We'll now move into the library director's report. Brian, do you want to inform us of all the important things that we need to know?
Yes, I do.
And the public.
Well, there's Terry joining us.
Hey, Terry.
Let him connect. Hello, Terry.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
All right. So, JD, you have that Terry joined us. All right. Thanks to the board for all your support. There's a nice newsletter that Laura wrote that's going out. It should go out tomorrow morning. You should see it in your email. Just thanking the community. We said all along how much we appreciate the community's patience and support, and the board's support during this last 9-10 months. So it's really well written, and I think you'll enjoy that. So again, thanks to the board for all your support. Some of this seems like repeat, but it's still active. The restrooms, we have some lights that we're waiting on to get installed. First one showed up incorrectly, so we're still waiting on the new ones to show up. one of the sinks was cracked, the flange was cracked, that gets replaced tomorrow. We're having trouble with the hot water mixing in actually the same sink, so we hope to get that addressed tomorrow too. So we're in the closing seconds of that project, but not quite there. So hoping to get that done this month, actually. Strategic planning we'll talk about later on the agenda. Budget process, I had a tentative date and time, January 14th. That's a Thursday, 2021 at 9 a.m. That is set, I'm told. So please go ahead and put that in your calendar if it's not already, if you're interested. I anticipate that will be via Zoom. Still waiting on that final detail. Ongoing used book sale. Staff have talked a lot about, can we do anything with the book sale with curbside? Lots of ideas. It's a challenge to try to, we don't want to create a giant database necessarily in sale items. Try to keep that really easy. So we're just pausing on the book sale for the moment. We'll get, we'll revisit in a month or so, see where we are, how it looks. But that works really well and really efficiently when we're open. It's just really easy for us to stock and sell, and we haven't at this point figured out a really good way to do that via curbside. So more to come on that as we get further into this what's hopefully a very temporary shutdown to the public, but we look forward to just having the book sale pop back open once we open to the public again. So per capita grant application is actually now available, which is great, and it came out as anticipated. So I will prepare a draft for your discussion and approval at the January meeting. A reminder, that's not due until March 15th in 2021, so that we have a little more time there. The website project through University of Michigan has been going really well. It's really good to have an objective perspective on our website. We all use it a lot, and so to have this class look at it has been really helpful. Nothing really surprising. It could be cleaner, it could be simpler. Content can grow old, and kind of quickly. And we have a heat map showing where our patrons go, and it's not surprising. They look for items, they look for their account, and they look at the calendar, and that's pretty much, those are the main areas. So there are some things that probably have too much real estate on the website right now. We think we can simplify that and really focus on kind of the highlights of the content and keep those functions very visible. So we anticipate doing some changes there in early 2021. The Digital Network Access Grant, that is going to start in mid-January rather than completing in early January. Got that news today. We're scheduling a couple projects at the same time there. And then we're talking about a winter reading challenge that will be much enhanced over previous winter reading challenges. So we're putting this together now. Just stay tuned for more information there. All ages, participation prizes, opportunity to win some gift cards to local businesses as prizes. So we think that will be fun. And we are, I think it's fair to say, looking at this kind of a regular reading challenge. So not just summer reading, for example, but more frequent reading challenges throughout the year. So that's an exciting direction for us, I think. And something else that comes up this time of year, the Central Illinois legislative meetups via ILA. I'm one of the two coordinators for those, or for that event this year too. Had a meeting today on that. So it will be virtual. We're working with legislators to see, what works well for them in terms of dates and times and format. So more information to come on that. That will likely happen in February of 2021 based on what we know at this point, but we're checking some calendars to see when it's good for the legislators. So always appreciate everyone's time attending that. So more information to come on that as we get nearer that time. And that is it. And kudos to staff, doing wonderful. No known exposure in terms of COVID, in our facility, which is great. So social distancing, masking, staying home when they're sick. Staff continue to do what they need to do, and I appreciate that. So. Jess, you're muted.
Indeed, I was. The joys of the Zoom meeting. So, Brian, thank you so much for that. Pam, would you like to share anything from the foundation?
I'm going to defer to Brian. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about how the annual campaigns are going, or, I mean,
Yeah, I think it's going well, and I don't want to skip Giving Tuesday, though we did Giving Tuesday a little bit differently this year. Our goal was just to get collect some email addresses and have some contacts for some ongoing communication. We did get a few gifts intended for Giving Tuesday, but overall, I think we've added, I want to say, about at least 70 emails to our ongoing foundation communication, which is great. So we're getting a lot of engagement. Joel's doing great work for the foundation. So really just those, we have some sustained conversations there, which is great. And we are seeing more monthly givers coming on, so that's great. So a lot of good positive traction with the foundation.
And anything else on foundation?
I'll throw out one thing. We want everyone to shop local. If you do happen to end up on Amazon, please remember that Amazon Smiles. You can choose the Normal Public Library Foundation as a recipient of those Smiles dollars. So appreciate that.
And they are kind enough to give you a report yearly as to what your contributions ended going to the library, because I was happy to see mine recently. So we'll go into new business, 2012-2024 strategic planning process, which is a discussion item. And I believe everyone should have received a update from the consultants. I don't know if everyone had the opportunity to see that yet or not.
Yeah, I apologize. I sent that out this afternoon. And I don't want to take too much time with this, happy to answer any questions, but we're really going to dig into this in January. We'll have a draft report to you, meeting with the leadership team tomorrow to really dig into, I would say some of the points of friction really are, our organizational structure, and then determining these few goals that you see on this plan. But there's so much more in the implementation plan. So we're really focused on that public-facing document right now, and then looking at developing the implementation plan as we move forward. I think the good news is, everything in our current plan is it's still right on. We just want to tweak a little bit. And just a reminder, we see this plan, given the unique circumstances and the timing, we're going to commit to a plan, but also commit to revisiting in maybe a year or so. We might have the opportunity for more public input, for example, some actual conversations. So, but this is a continuation of the plan, a little bit of a tweak there, and acknowledging that some things we've done really well, community engagement, for example. So we can kind of maybe de-emphasize that to some extent. We're not going to not do it. It's just that we have the opportunity now to focus on some other things. So one thing we're talking about is having in a position strategic initiatives. So using Laura as an example, we hired her as a community engagement manager. Community engagement was our top goal. So it really helped in terms of realizing that goal, having someone focused on it. So knowing that we want to continue a focus on reaching various strategic initiatives per our plan, then we want to have someone focused on those initiatives on an ongoing basis. So that's something that we anticipate seeing as we move forward in terms of our staffing. Also, I've mentioned organizational structure. We've outgrown our structure. We do things differently than we used to. We're doing different things. Obviously, there's digital content, programming is different. We've learned a lot during the pandemic how agile we can be, which is good. We've also learned we need some cross-training in some different ways, which we're doing already now. So very much this one library, one team, take away any silos that may have existed. That feels really good, and we're going to do a lot more with that. So that allows us to be more agile, more efficient, which is necessary as our revenues, remain flat. We hire staff who want to work, any service point, know about the entire library, so that's good. So I would say that as we've, started to kind of inch into this, staff are excited about it, which is good, and it feels really good to know that staff can fill in anywhere they need to. Do we have experts in certain areas? Yes, certainly, but we're really ramping up in terms of how all staff know more about various collections, et cetera. So that feels really good direction for us. So it's fun. Just mentioned that document. at the end of that document, there are a few recommendations from Sue and Tony. And I think those are important, and I'll be reaching out via email more between now and January. And we have this is the longest time we go without meeting, is from December to January. So I'll be in communication with you. Just please look at those recommendations. Let me know if you feel any of those aren't correct. That would be important for us to know. One thing I'll mention is creating an advocacy committee. I think that's really important. We had the good work with Peter back in March. I just think that's really, really valuable for us. We're looking at a short-term potential, a physical makeover to some extent, a master's plan, or a facilities master plan, communications plan. We're never going to say communication is good enough, just like we're never going to say service is good enough. So how do we focus our efforts in terms of communication? And then also, we're acknowledging that it's a difficult time to get that community input. We have some ideas to do that succinctly, but instead of focusing on that as an input to this plan, we're focusing on sustained, meaningful, ongoing community input all the time, not just during the planning process. So that's where we're aiming in terms of that community input and engagement going forward. Beyond that, we know that succession planning, contingency planning is an important element for the board. We're looking at that. And obviously, we're talking a lot about collections, how we balance physical versus digital in this ever-changing space of collections. So it's tricky, but I think we're doing a good job of it. So more to come on that as we move forward too. But really, that's the where we are right now, with a lot more to come in January.
I will say that it's not often that I can say a consultant's report made me smile, but I did appreciate the fact, as I was scanning through the document, that they did call out the Pepto-Bismol ink basement in need of a refurbish.
Yeah.
So obviously they were listening to some of the things that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So that was, I found that a little bit amusing.
Yeah. Sue's been here and experienced it firsthand several times too, so she knows it well.
So, but I did also like the 6 items and the sort of the thing to think about that you just mentioned some of them on. So
Yeah.
I think that would give us a lot of good food for thought.
Yeah. So again, just please let me know if any of those aren't how you wish them to be, and we will work to get those how you want them to be. Thank you.
Any questions for Brian on the strategic planning process and where we're at, or anything on that? Hearing none, going into COVID-19 update. Anything in addition that we need to know? We've kind of covered it in bits and pieces throughout the meeting this evening, but is there anything else we need to be aware of?
Yeah, again, just appreciate the community's support and patience, the support of the board and staff continue to do a great job. We are starting discussions what's next and when. We don't know when, but we know that we've checked back in on how we opened last time. We feel that we had a good process. Communication went well. Nothing we really need to change in terms of how we opened. It's just when. And obviously there's a lot of changing variables. It feels like there's some light at the end of the tunnel, more recently, so that's good. So we're excited. So we're ready in terms of how to open. We're just not sure when to open. So I think it certainly will be much easier this second time around. But we're just trying to be patient and make sure that we don't, make any decision that's poor. We just want to keep up these decisions that keep the patrons and staff safe. So we're being patient. As long as we can run with curbside, we feel good because the patrons appreciate that so much, and so we're directly delivering that service. Digital content is increasing a little bit since we've closed the facility to the public, but our bread and butter is certainly those physical collections of items. So we're in a good spot given all the variables. We do look forward to opening as soon as we can safely.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we should also thank the patrons, because a lot of people have showed a lot of concern for the staff, concern for the library, appreciation, and willingness to really, understand the challenges and work alongside of us to make things work out. So absolutely, we've had patrons all along thank us for remaining closed, not
not creating situations that aren't good for the community. So we appreciate that perspective. Absolutely.
So thanks to all of our patrons in the community for supporting the library as we try to do the best job that's possible for the entire community. So, anything else with COVID-19?
Nope.
Anyone else? Questions, concerns? Okay. We will now move into unfinished business. And to my understanding, my memory, we do not have any unfinished business. JD, anything in the documentation that we need to address?
I feel like there was something we were going to move forward to this meeting that we didn't. Remember, we tabled something, so that'll remain unfinished business. And I just noticed it. Hold on.
And I was going to say it may still be tabled. If I remember right, there was some grant.
The standards discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
We tabled that again until January.
Yeah. So that's unfinished. Yeah. So nothing.
Right. So that still continue to be unfinished business, but not for this particular meeting. But good to remember that we do need to have that discussion coming up. Any additional items for the agenda for when we meet again in January? Okay. Hearing none. Our next meeting, speaking of January, will be January 27th in 2021. I almost said 23 because my glasses evidently need to be changed.
Don't rush it.
It's just been a rough year, folks. Let's just put a plug in it and not meet again for a while. No, it was January 27th of 2021. Hopefully that works still for everyone's calendar. We're going to be good. Anything else, as they say, for the good of the order?
We have to do a roll call and a thing.
And then roll call into...
In a second and a moving and a...
Oh, for adjournment.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Who
would like to call for adjournment?
I'll move to adjourn.
Thank you, Aaron. Do we have a second? Thank you, Jim. We have a second. So, JD, if you'd be so roll call for adjournment.
Jess Ray.
Aye.
Terry Lindbergh.
Yes.
Jim Rogao.
Yes.
JD Davis. Yes. Caitlin Trunnell. Aaron Ripley Guitaric. There we go. Pam
Aaron
Lewis.
loves it so much she doesn't want to leave.
Aye.
Away you go.
All right. Well, we are officially adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful break if you're taking a break. Happy holidays for those who are celebrating holidays. And stay healthy.